Hey Hal, it's Wilbur, and just wanted to go over a game I played against a very high MMR opponent where I took him down. We were against Moonlight Rainbow, sitting currently at rank 23 in my division. Um, they were an advanced group number 7 tournament this weekend, and they have roughly the same amount of wins as me. So they have 386. If I go down to where I'm at 372. So, um, pretty similar number of games, but they're quite a bit higher than me on the ladder. So let's go flip to that replay and get into it. So I've been on a bit of an ascent again ever since the Shailud, sandworm came out. I was experimenting a lot with the unit, and I think it is not a giant you can just throw down in any situation. I think it has a few uses, but they're all pretty obscure. And we actually get to see it in this game, so kind of excited to get to that point. But to start things out, I grabbed Rhino Specialist. My opponent is Orange Man, and I had the starting pack of Stormcallers and Arclights, and I grabbed 2 Fangs. My opponent had Tanks and Marksmen, so they'll be doing a really standard kind of just by their tower, and I kind of mirror that with my units being mostly around my towers. My opponent also opts for Fangs, and we'll see how things shake down on round 1. So, Pico, Marksman Specialist, you have a pretty strong early game, because you have Orange Man, who basically one-shots any unit in the game on round 1. It just blows through tanks, blows through Arclights, blows through Phoenixes. Nothing can handle its damage at the beginning of the game. So usually you end up losing round 1 to Orange Man. Sometimes you can get back in the game round 2. So we'll see what we go through in round 2 here. So we get a random unit card, and I think we both grab the Sabertooth here. It's probably the biggest value pack out of the bunch. You get 2 deployments for $100, and both of our boards, like, it makes sense. Like, for me, he's got tanks already, and Sabertooths are good against tanks, and for him, I have Stormcallers, and Sabertooths are good against Stormcallers and Arclights. So, good pickup for both of us on the board. So, I don't think either one of us gains much of an advantage this round. I don't think the Sabertooths were better for one person more so than the other. I think all of our deployments, both me and Moonlight, go into chaff this round. So I grab another crawler, another Fang. He grabs 2 crawlers to put behind. I think I save $100 here. I have a cheeky flank up on the left that I do to pull some crawlers over there, and then Marksman. So we'll watch the round 2 unfold here. Maybe speed up the gameplay a bit so we can get a move on. I think once again, maybe I do end up winning this round. I don't remember anymore. Yeah, it looks like I'll take this one. Orange Man with the cheeky flank isn't going to be able to clear all the crawlers. So, a little pack of crawler, a little savior pack on the top left, giving me a round 2 win against Orange Man. If we get the cards here. But yeah, Strike Specialist is really good for getting those flank deployments going, and Extended Range Marksman made a lot of sense for Moonlight. She already had the Marksman down, so if I slow this back down for a minute, we missed a few things on our discussion. So I grabbed crawlers this round and put 2 in my flanks, and my opponent looks like they haven't picked up. I didn't pick crawlers this round. I just deployed the crawlers. I think I picked them the previous round. My opponent grabbed more tanks to help with the flank. I think they might also put one here. I don't remember exactly, but I do extra deployment and get 3 crawlers down this round. And I believe I pre-buy a scorpion. You'll see pop up here. Usually I don't play scorpions a ton, but this board was just begging for scorpions with all the tanks. So there's the scorpion pre-bought. I believe I save the rest of the money. So we'll well, go ahead and bought the defense. We'll fly through the next round here. So the flanks kind of become useless now with the tank deployment over there. In this round I suffer a lot, just don't have the damage to get through the tanks yet. I'll take a decent chunk of HP damage there. My Rhino comes down this round. My opponent takes the advanced power system. I took improved Scorpion because I knew I was going to be going Scorpion, so they cost 50 more gold, but they have 50% attack HP, and the range is increased by 5. So I put 2 down in the center and grabbed the range upgrade immediately when I sold my Rhino to afford it all. And my opponent did not take anything new. They just put down some Mustangs, and this, I think it's right pack. Oh, this left pack has the advanced firepower. So with the Mustangs that are coming down, and I think I was struggling a little bit to clear chaff, I start thinking about fire now. I still have my Stormcallers. I hadn't sold out of them yet. So here I was looking at either range specialist or the laser sights, and I went for the laser sights. Range specialist would have influenced everything, but I did have a level on this Scorpion. I was like, oh, I could just throw laser sights on this, and this would kind of be like my boss Scorpion. So for deployments, I believe I just, looks like grab 2 deployments of Fangs to kind of reinforce my Fangs, so I can keep those Fang lines moving. I kind of tried to, I think I identified that chaff was my problem the last round. So adds 3 more deployments of chaff to the board. And then I had upgraded this Scorpion and the 2 Sabertooths and 2 sets of Stormcallers. Lots of upgrades in this round. Try to keep the damage getting higher and higher on the board. My opponent also has added Stormcallers to their board. Kind of a traditional counter to Scorpions. But I believe with the improved Scorpion and the range upgrade, my range is 180, and the Stormcallers are also 180. So my Stormcallers will be able to hit the Stormcallers at the same moment that the Stormcallers can hit the Scorpions. So traditionally that would not happen, even with the range upgrade. So, oh, maybe this is the laser sight Scorpion. That's the one that can do the ties the range of the Stormcallers. So we would be 5 short on that one. This other guy is a little shorter range, so he's probably going to be walking into Stormcaller range earlier. So these cards and the type of units I have on board, Speed Specialist, really good. Scorpions have a slow movement speed, and so do Sabertooths, so getting them up into the combat sooner is important. We've also got Field Recovery now. I've had that since the Rhino round, I forgot. Duh, I already mentioned that before. So now we are starting to do rapid resupply and mass recruit. We are trying to push to win. So I dropped 2 more sets of Scorpions and another Sabertooth with the Missile Interceptor to help with the Stormcallers that came down last round. Reduce that damage they're doing. My opponents added another set of Mustangs with the improved firepower, our fire control system that came available, and they're also starting to do the old classic mobile beacon crawler to distract Stormcaller fire. They've also added I don't remember which one of these, but I think a Stormcaller came down this round as well. So no flanks for my opponent the whole game, and I have not added to my flanks. I don't feel as though they're effective. The only spot that they might be is these front 2 corners. If I were to flank this round, I think that was one of the things I could have done, was considering during the game, but never did. So as you'll see, the Sabertooths are helping to shoot down these missiles, saving some of my chaff from their imminent demise, especially the Fangs. Fangs suffer a lot in vertical formation against Stormcallers. Looks like our right flank is pushing in, where our middle and left are a little bit weak. And it might be because of these high-level Mustangs, or level 2 Mustang with the item kind of leading the charge over there. So another close round, but we're still not coming out on top. We'll go to round 7. So here we get another unit drop. This round I was expecting, I couldn't go Wasps because of the Mustangs, and I really needed some fire down, so I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll do fire bombs and Vulcans. So I grabbed the Vulcans, and then I kind of had a change of heart. I was like, okay, well, they're just gonna die like immediately to these marksmen and the Stormcallers. So I sold one and put this guy up front to just roast this set of crawlers. Well, this guy I guess will be the replacement up there. So I got some money out of him. I put fire on the Stormcallers, which I thought would be more effective, and I also bought oil this round. And my opponent did grab the Wasps, which was an excellent buy. I was weak to the Wasps. As you can see, the only thing that shoots up on my board are my Fangs, and there's only, 6 sets of them, and he's got, the Fangs have a lot of other targets that they have to deal with besides the Wasps. I invest heavily into the Stormcallers this round to get fire on the field. I'm really worried about these Mustangs, and fire is one of the best things to take care of Mustangs, and Fangs, if he should shield them. I was thinking he might do shielded Fangs at some point too. I continue to level this Scorpion with the hopes that it's going to be very forward. So we are going to get a nice fire going in here once we get through these missile devices. We roast up one set of Mustangs. So I think this round we either tie or it's a slight win to the Wasps. I don't recall exactly, but we do end up taking care of, I think, these anti-missile devices, which is pretty big for us. We, it's $100 per missile device. So if you can take those out the round that they're deployed, as if you're the person that's got all of the missile units, it's a pretty big deal. I don't remember if this one lives or not, but we'll see in a few moments here. So the Wasps were a good surprise this round for my opponent. Did a lot of work. Looks like this poor Scorpion isn't going to be able to take out that last anti-missile device. He did get one more shot off, saving me some HP. So let's see what round 8 has in store. This round I see sticky oil again and say, hey, I really want to burn his board. Immediately grab it and they see the smoke. And I look at my board and I figure, yeah, I'm probably going to get smoked. And he looks at his board and says, I'm probably going to get oiled. So I think we both deploy some bubbles this round. I sold the second group, or the second Vulcan from that the free unit card, and then I invest in Mustangs. I need something that's going to answer those wasps. So one of the nice things I did this round was use basically every single button you can push on the left, the tower. So rapid resupplied, and then I did elite recruit, so I could get level 2 Mustangs immediately and give them range, because I knew I was going to be weak to those Mustang or those wasps. So those were the 3 deployments I used, and I believe I'm considering where to bubble at this point for the smoke. Yep, so I bubble my big Scorpion, because I know he's a premier target for the smoke, and then I just do the left side. And leave the right open. My opponent does attempt some crawler flanks now. Crawler flanks are really good against Scorpions. I deploy a couple of missiles this round, and one of them succumbs to an anti-missile device. That's always a bad feeling when you see that happen. Some of my fire goes to those flanks from those first few volleys of Stormcaller shots. And you'll see the anti-missile device are really suppressing a lot of the missile shots from my Stormcallers. So these Mustangs are still healthy. Our Mustangs really helped us take down these wasps this round. And our kind of hero Scorpion is picking away at all the units on the board. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 anti-missile devices down, and it looks like I'm going to be able to take them all out, which is a huge win for me this round. It's $500 my opponent invested in, and it's almost all going to be destroyed. I think this is the only one that survives. But they might not either, I don't remember. There's only 2 wasps here, and we have a lot of playtime left in this round, so I'll speed her up and see if we get all those missile devices destroyed. And this is probably where I would say the turning point of the game was. That's $500 that I destroyed, that he or she does not get any benefit from them the next round. And where I had invested in all in units, and that's a big swing in economy. So this round I see a Shahilud, a sandworm, come up. I want to talk a little bit about this, so I'll slow it back down to real speed. So what I was thinking here is I was having some problems with tanks in my team. Like my chap would die to the Mustangs and the Stormcallers and the tanks. So I was having a big chaff problem protecting my Scorpions, and I thought, well, what's better than a sandworm to provide some kind of distraction? So if we can get the sandworm to pop up once or twice and then die, like, that's enough, right? Unfortunately, I didn't have the mech division tech here, which would have probably been even better for that use case, but that's why I grabbed the sandworm. My opponent grabbed the de facto, like, good option, which was the melting point. So I think most players default to melting point as like kind of the high-end capstone unit right now in Mechabellum. It is really good, so we'll move the game along again. I think I grabbed some levels on these Scorpions. Yeah, there it goes up to level 4 now. We got a level 3 on this side, level 3 on this side. I deploy my sandworms against these crawlers to help take them down right away. My opponent also invested in underground or subterranean blitz to move his crawlers in quicker. So I still have $900 left, and I opt for some late sandworms to help with that problem I was having with chaff. Get the sandworms to come in late and distract while the scorpions clean up the board. Sandworms are also really tanky, so if the fire does connect with the ground, the sandworms aren't really going to feel it. So you can see this sandworm got ran down pretty quick from the melting point. But all the other sandworms that are on the board are doing a really good job of redirecting the fire of these high-level marksmen and letting our scorpions get to premier targets like these high-level melting points. This is the level 3 melting point over here. So I was really happy about this round. The worms were definitely, I think, a better investment than just grabbing the melting point again, like I could have done. So this is the last round, probably, so I gravitate towards the nuke. My opponent grabs the Ion Blast, and I believe I nuked the side with the large melting point. My opponent goes for some kills across this center line, taking down probably the Stormcaller, these Mustangs, the Scorpion, with the Ion Blast, or Ion Beam. And for me, I think I leveled, the Sandworm got a level, I leveled up my Mustangs, and grabbed an enhanced range and high speed. After all that, I'm still left with $600. And I think I grabbed Mech Rage this round to make my Sandworms move faster and attack faster. I put a Sandworm in the back. Alright, so I sell out of this crawler finally because I just needed a little bit of money for the Mech Rage. And with the $50, I think I just missile. Yep. So here's the nuke coming down. And I think my opponent just added a melting point and a bunch of bubbles. And it looks like they ran out of money for anti-missile devices this round. So here we can see the sandworms popping up, going down, and those melting points retarget, which is pretty big. So now the sandworms are onto the melters, chewing away. They go down, but the bigger thing is my scorpions got in range to pop those melters. I believe this guy one-shots melting points at this point with the damage it does. And here I kind of know that I have the win, but this round's actually a lot closer than it looks. This melting point, I believe, hangs on against these Stormcallers and manages to take out a few more units. And with that, that's a win against a very high MMR opponent. So I lose this tower. You'll see this melter gets a few more units before it's popped by the Scorpion. Really worried here that we'd have another round, but luckily the melting point latched on to the Stormcaller there, and we took down Moonlight Rainbow. Not a bad round. I believe this is a spectator feature where you can like play the next round, but this was the final board. So I think the thing that I took away from this game is late game sandworms used as like kind of distractor units or sort of like a chaff replacement that is actually pretty good. I think Mechdiv might be an additional tech that I put on, and replacing the ones that I have here that I kind of use for FFA occasionally. But if you're in this kind of scenario where you don't ever seem to have enough chaff on board to protect your damage dealers like these high-level scorpions, try your sandworm out and throw Mechdiv on there, and you might be surprised. Did pretty good against melters as long as you have something else that can do damage. So you could have melters here instead of scorpions, but for my board, the scorpions were helping rip through all the medium units and then get onto the high value targets. So I'm hoping to see maybe to a few more opportunities to play this kind of style. It was a really fun board to play. And it was different, very different board. I usually don't build scorpions, and sandworms have been a disappointment since their release for me. But I think they might just be a bit of a unit that takes a little more finesse and understanding how to use. So I hope you enjoyed the high MMR gameplay. I know I like playing against tough opponents and getting those wins. So we'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.